vertex form of a quadratic function and completing the square to get vertex form. Now, the vertex form of a quadratic function goes like this. This is the equation of a parabola, another form. Y equals a times x minus some h value square, quantity square, plus some k value. Now, the vertex is the values of h and k. Notice that here we subtract h. Let's take this parabola. This parabola has vertex at 2, -1. It also goes through the origin. We're going to write the equation for this parabola in vertex form. So we have our basic equation, but h is the x value of the vertex 2, and k is the y value of the vertex, which in this case is -1. So we have this equation, y equals some number a, we'll see about that, times x minus 2 squared plus -1. Now to find this value of a, we need another point on the parabola. In this case, we're going to use this point, the origin, 0, 0. So we substitute 0 for y and 0 for x. 0 equals some number a times 0 minus 2 squared minus 1. Now, 0 minus 2 is -2. Square, well, that's 4. 4 times a minus 1, which is what I have here. If we add 1 on each side, 0 plus 1 is 1, and 4a minus 1 plus 1, those cancel, it's just 4a. Which means that dividing by 4, here we cancel, a is 1/4. And the equation in vertex form of our parabola is y equals the value of a, 1/4, x minus 2 squared minus 1. You can write plus -1 if you want, but you can write also -1. That's vertex form. Now, we're going to use completing the square when we have a parabola in standard form. A quadratic function in standard form, we want to pass it to vertex form. Let's start with an easy one. F of x equals x squared plus 6x. Just that. In order to pass it to vertex form, we're going to complete the square. We learned that last class. Take the 6. What number do we need to add here? Notice that this is a 1. Take the 6, divided by 2, that's 3, and square it. 3 squared. Now, I'm putting this extra 3 squared here, but in order to keep it equal to f of x, I have to subtract it. I mean, I add 3 squared, so I subtract 3 squared. How much is 3 squared? It's 9. So I'm really not changing the equation because I'm adding 9 and subtracting 9, adding 0. So completing the square, what two numbers multiply to give 9 and add to give 6? It's 3 and 3. That's why I put 3 squared here. So f of x equals x plus 3 squared, and now minus 9. I guess you could group these. And this is what this parenthesis square is. The vertex is x minus -3. So it's -3, comma, -9. That's the vertex. Let's see another example. G of x equals x squared minus 10x plus 3. Now we need these two to complete the square. So I'm going to separate them. X squared minus 10x plus something to complete the square, and the plus 3 I just simply move it over here, outside of the parentheses. So what number do I need to add to complete the square? Take the -10 divided by 2 and square it. -10 divided by 2 is -5. Square is 25. Alright, and I added 25 here, so I need to subtract 25 not to alter the equation. So because I completed the square, I know that the two numbers whose product is 25 and sum is -10, are negative 5 and negative 5. So x minus 5 squared. Now 3 minus 25, that's negative 22. So the vertex of this quadratic function of the parabola is x minus 5, so h is 5, and negative 22 is k. Vertex is at 5, negative 22. Two more examples. Now we will have a negative 3 as the value of a, not 1. So we still separate it. We just need these two to complete the square. But we need a 1 here. So we take out as a common factor a negative 3. But negative 3x squared divided by negative 3 is x squared. Positive 24x divided by negative 3 is negative 8x. And we're going to add something. The 10 is outside of the parentheses, plus 10. And then we're going to subtract whatever we added. So what we need to add is half of negative 8, that's negative 4, square, that's 16, plus 16. So we subtract 16. But be careful, I'm missing something here. This 16 is being multiplied by negative 3. So when we subtract this 16 times negative 3. Alright, this square has been completed. So we write half of negative 8, that's x minus 4 squared. The negative 3 still stays there. And 16 times negative 3, negative 16 times negative 3 is really plus 48. So it's 10 plus 48, that's 58. So our vertex is 4, 58. Notice that this parabola opens down because of the negative over here. Last example. That f of x equals 100x squared plus 40x plus minus 130. Again, we just need these two to complete the square. And we just need 1x squared, so we take out the 100. 100 times x squared. 40x divided by 100 is 0.4x plus something minus 130, minus whatever we add here. So we take the 0.4 divided by 2, that's 0.2, and square it. Now, 0.2 squared is 0.04. 0.04. That's what I added. And what I'm going to subtract is 0.04 times 100. Times 100. That's 4. So, we have 100 from here. This becomes x plus half of this, 0.2 squared. And this is negative 134. So my vertex is negative 0.2, negative 134. This parabola opens up. That's because of this 100. I guess the equation should be written y equals, or f of x equals all this.